Kenya and the global as a whole. There is the BTV Kenya, your home live TV this morning. As usual, it's the Vibrant Show this morning. In fact, I'm just here, one army officer, the presenter, Ocheng Geoffrey Onyango. Just to begin, it's a newspaper review as usual. We want to see issues that are pertaining the Kenyans' lifestyle, particularly. And thereafter, we shall also be able to look into, apart from being that much late on the political part of the affairs of the country, we shall also be able to look at the economic affairs and also into social affairs of the country based on the various newspapers that I have for you today. Most oftenly, ladies and gentlemen, from the BTV, the Vibrant Show, we always check most of the areas that are touchy to the lifestyle of the citizens. As per now, the only way that I wanted to start with is the bid of the Azimio la Umoja One Kenya opposition leader Raila Odinga. So most Kenyans back Raila. Bid for AU top job shows survey. This is shown on the People Daily, and as it's always that if a leader comes out to vie for a particular seat, I mostly find that the people from there around, they say charity begins at home. Infotrack as well report reveals that 8 into 10 support the opposition Raila Odinga plan to view for coveted position of the AU chairmanship. Ladies and gentlemen, that is according to page number 1 of the People Daily. As we are moving one by one, you can see there's a picture that has been displayed on that first page, of which millions and millions of Kenyans are being interviewed by the Infotrack company to know on how many or which people particularly are in large numbers to support the chairmanship of Raila Amolo Odinga, the Azimio la Umoja One Kenya leader. So a new survey shows that 80% of Kenya's opposition leader support Raila Odinga's bid for African Union Commission AUC post. So Infotrack Research consulting firm survey released yesterday showing that 8 in 10 Kenyans claim that they support the move by Raila Odinga contest for AU chairmanship post for next year. That is also shown on the same page, the first page actually. So according to the survey, the highest supported were recorded in Nairobi at 88%, Rift Valley at 85%, and Nyanza at 83%. Western with 79%, then a tie of 78% for Central and Coast, while the lowest was recorded in Northeastern at 64%, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, this is according to the analysis that was done by the Infotrack company. As we are moving on, there is also an area that has been shown here that more female than male Kenyans supported the contest of 84% and 79% respectively. Most backed those in the 27 to 35 age bracket at 84%, then 36 to 35 at 82%, followed by those at 46 to 55 at 81%, ladies and gentlemen. As you can see from page number 1 of the People Daily, the biggest percentage was taken by those that are within the age of 27 to 35. This means that the majority who are the youths within the country. Now, formerly youths were not at a position in support of the political issues, ladies and gentlemen. But now, since a devolution has been analyzed out there by the political analyst, chief analyst, they say leadership is now based on the youth, and they use the people actually the largest percentage in support of the development within the country. That is according to the InfoTrack Kenya. So more female than male Kenyans supported. So female came out at the biggest percentage possible to support the bid of the chairmanship of the Azimio la Umoja's leader Raila Odinga come next year. So we are told that the survey also shows that more than half of Kenyans believe that the country is headed in the wrong direction, and therefore each and every person, particularly the youth, are chipping in large numbers to see if at all there are stumbling blocks, so that they actually see on which ways possibly or alternatives to see if the move could be well, as they are saying over there, ladies and gentlemen, on that same page of page number 1. So the survey also shows that more than half of Kenyans believe that the country is headed in the wrong direction. So the survey released yesterday shows that 58% of Kenyans believe Kenya is headed in the wrong direction, while 19% others said that the country is headed in the right direction. So out of 100%, you find that only 19% that supports the current government of Dr. William Samoei Ruto, saying that the government is headed to the right direction. Only 19% out of the total of 100, 58 are saying no, the country is headed in the wrong direction. So you can have the same page of the Daily Nation and see more on the same. Comparatively, there is a slight drop of 3% of those who think that the country is headed in the wrong direction compared to December 2023. So in December 2023, it was up to around 22%. For those that actually were with the government, those that supported the government, that it was actually doing just the right thing, and that the government was actually on the right track. Now it has gone down by at least 3%, saying now the country is at the worst condition, ladies and gentlemen. That's according to the daily People, the People Daily, of course. So by religions, a majority of Kenyans from coast feel that the country is headed in the wrong direction at 70%, followed by Nyanza at 68%, then Northeastern at 67%, while Western stood at 64%, saying that the country is headed in the wrong direction. Out of 100%, ladies and gentlemen, if you can do just some little analysis, you find that the percentages that are mentioned across the counties that have been mentioned over here are up to above 50%. The list are having 60%, saying that the country is headed in the wrong direction across the country, ladies and gentlemen. So region, so the eastern region says at 62%, that the central at 55%, okay, the central area at 55%, saying that the country is not in the right direction. Nairobi with 53%, while Rift Valley recorded the least at those who believe that the country is headed in the wrong direction at 45%. So this is shown on the same page. So on the flip side, Rift Valley and Nairobi leads with persons who said the country is headed in the right direction at 32% and 21% respectively. So in Rift Valley, in two areas, that's in two regions, that is Rift Valley and Nairobi, they say at 21% and 21% and 32% that the country is headed in the right direction. Okay, so that is also shown over there. Ladies and gentlemen, And some 18% of Kenyans from eastern and northeastern each said it is headed in the right direction, followed by central with 17%, while coast Nyanza tied with 12%. By gender, more female than male said that the country is headed in the wrong direction, having recorded a 59% and 57% respectively, while 22% of the male said it's headed in the right direction, as 17% in the female counterparts. Ladies and gentlemen, as of now, according to the analysis that InfoTrack has done across the country, it's coming to be in the public domain that the country is headed in the wrong direction. And leaders, starting from the central government, that is in the seat of His Excellency Dr. William Samoei Ruto, there must be something to be done. There are a lot of issues to be done. This analysis actually shows that the Kenyans are not at good position at all. If I relate this to the strike that the doctors are having across the country as of now, it means we are getting to the worst. And if not so, then the government needs to do something about the same. Ladies and gentlemen, according to the Daily People, page number 1. As we are posting to page number 2, we will repay farmers in fake fertilizer, says CS. So there's this saga that was alleged a few days back there, that the fertilizer that was supplied to farmers were fertilizers that were standard fertilizers to the farmers, and that they are to be compensated. Now the CS says today that they are going to compensate farmers on the fertilizer supply than previously. Farmers who unknowingly bought fake fertilizers will be compensated by giving them alternative fertilizers as directed by the President. Agricultural Cabinet Secretary Mithika Linturi has also disclosed that in the public. Okay, so it said that there is even as the senator took Linturi picture to task over his assertion that there were only 3,000 bags of substandard fertilizers that were supplied to the farmers. That is also on the same page. So according to the lawmaker, during their fact-finding trips, they found out that there were thousands of bags of fake fertilizers which were in possession of farmers across the country. The big question comes out of this, ladies and gentlemen. No, there are bodies that are standing in for the check on the imported products from outside countries within the country, the KEBS. I actually want to justify on the same. And if you're listening or watching, viewing at this time, could you also be able to ask yourself where the rain started beating Kenyans? If these bodies are put there to foresee on which products are imported and that they are looked into for the security of the citizens of Kenya, how is it that these fertilizers, these bags, these thousands of bags got into the country from the outside and now they are alleged to be fake fertilizers? And the government now comes in the Ministry of Agriculture saying mythically that they are going to compensate the farmers. So who is at the wrong track? Because if at all we ask ourselves at the hour, is that how did it get to Kenya? And if at all it was realized that these fertilizers were fake, why is it that the law can't work upon who or the victims of the circumstance, ladies and gentlemen? Why is it that the CS coming in and saying that they are going to compensate what had not been supplied according to the law and the security of the farmers? I'm trying to imagine that. You can have it for yourself for a thought. According to the lawmaking during the fact-finding trips, they found out that there were thousands of bags of fertilizer which were in possession of farmers across the country, as alleged there. However, the National Cereals and Produce Board, NCPB, Managing Director Joseph Kimote told the Senate that they were working in SBL manufacturers on a strictly commercial agency basis where on selling its product to farmers. So NCPD gets a commission of 150,000 bags distributed within a payment of 28 million made to the state agencies. Now, the state agencies are aware because they were paid and they signed the contract after the submission of delivery. And if it happened that it was delivered in such an official way, the country, where are the Kenyans leading to? Where are we heading to? The first session, when they are put on track, if you are standing in for a ministry and that at times things come in, the signatures are made by the authoritative substantive office of the cabinet ministries, then later on people say from the same ministries that we are sorry and we are going to compensate this. I'm trying to imagine. No files opened at the court victimizing members of the circumstance. You can drop your verdict on the BTV Kenya, your home live TV, in support or gain or even a thought on what could the government do. And if now the government is coming into the Ministry of Agriculture, telling us that they are going to compensate for the mess that was attended to the farmers. The senator also took Linturi to task over his assertion that there were only 3,000 bags of substandard fertilizer. How was this realized? I think Mr. Linturi should be able to address this according to the law. Of all the thousands of bags, why is it now known, or we did not check properly, that now only 3,000 bags as allocated by Linturi, the CS? I think it's something that should be done. The government of Kenya should do something. All right. So board recalls cough syrup following death claims. So board recalls cough syrup following death claims, ladies and gentlemen. So the Pharmacy and Poisons Board, PPB, yesterday directed all pharmaceutical outlets to remove from their shelves a cough syrup for children due to some toxic components that have been detected. So as of now, ladies and gentlemen, we are getting to different or various pharmacies across the country. It's now through the board that the cough syrup is poison, not medicine. Don't just take it for what it's due. And you're taking care of pharmacy areas anywhere within the country, please let us dispose this syrup so that we be in the lives of the young Kenyans. This directive also applies to all healthcare facilities, healthcare workers, and wananchi who are in the possession of Benylin Pediatric 100 ml syrup to immediately guarantee the product and stop disruption sale issue of the product within the country. That has also been addressed, ladies and gentlemen. As we proceed, there is an area on the People Daily that talks about report reveals that theft of public funds in counties. Report reveals theft of public funds in the counties. I think this is not coming for the first time, ladies and gentlemen. This is something that has been in the public domain since the beginning of the revolution. Members of the county assemblies, members of areas, the MPs and the governors of different countries. It has been in the public domain that public facilities, public funds are being embezzled by the people in office. That has also been addressed over there. Now, Auditor General Nancy Githugu has exposed the obvious ways through which various country governments have been using the Sinophone hundreds of millions of shillings through diverse expenditure and financial irregularities. So it means billions and billions of money, according to those that are in the offices of the county, are allocated in different departments, of which if traced, the not found. That's according to Auditor General Nancy Githugu. In a report that almost declares most countries as crime scenes that would require the immediate arrival of officers from the Directorate of Criminal Investigation and Ethics and Anti-Corruption Commission, the development units have been faulted over explained expenditure, irregular procurement of goods, double payment of salaries, allowances, and alleged irregular payments. So something has to be done. I think the mission has just commenced. In her latest report for the financial year 2022-2023, Githugu has revealed that shocking details of how countries regularly sourced and paid for legal services, while in other cases paid staff illegal allowances, as well as failed to comply with law on ethic composition. So this has followed. When the analysis was done, no officer in the procurement department could explain the allocation of money, ladies and gentlemen, in various departments. The fact being that there are payments that cannot be traced, alleged as per the Auditor General. Nairobi County government gets the biggest flack, where 11 lawyers are said to have been engaged to represent it on more than 50% out of 832 cases, and are to be paid a whopping shillings 10.7 billion. So this is more than the total county on source revenue of $10.56. That can also be seen on the same page, ladies and gentlemen. A lot are here that are based today. Now, ladies and gentlemen, Raila urges state medics to embrace talks. ODM leader expressed fears ongoing industrial action by medics in degenerating to a full-blown crisis countrywide. So Raila came out in the public yesterday, talked to the people, the Kenyans. Opposition leader Raila Odinga has warned that the nationwide doctors' strike is moving from bad to worse and will have a full-blown crisis, which all health workers will don tools. So Raila instead called on the Ministry of Health and country government to immediately engage the doctors and other health workers to find a solution to the dispute at hand. As it was talking, he said, "I appeal to both the government and the doctors. I'm convinced the doctors and all other health workers currently on strike will be able to craft a return to work formula and resume daily if the government were to meet their demand halfway while negotiations continue," said Raila. So departed healthcare. According to Raila, the more than 7,000 strong Kenya medical practitioners, pharmacists and dentists union KMPDU have been on strike since March 13th to demand better pay and working conditions, a move that has disrupted healthcare and the country's 57 public hospitals across the countries, ladies and gentlemen. So after coming from the bad to the worst, as alleged by the Democratic Orange Movement leader Raila Odinga, is now going to the worst, since about 57% of the medics in different hospitals across the country and the Ministry of Health inclusively have gone for a strike and no work done. People lose their lives. He appeals to the government and the doctors as of now that they get to a table and talk. The negotiations should be done, so at least people should not lose their lives rapidly, as has been realized of the latest days. Ladies and gentlemen, as we proceed on the Daily People, we are also seeing that Raila said that countries are supposed to pay salaries of doctors who are enrolled for further studies like master's degree, while the Ministry of Health is supposed to pay fees. Adding to that, although countries have kept their side of arrangement, the Ministry of Health has failed to do so since 2018. That's according to Raila Odinga. You can as well follow on the same page, ladies and gentlemen. Just for a move in the short while, then I will come to a halt of the paper review today on the 12th day of April 2024. The other issue or big delegation here is on the education department or education ministry. So education CS Machogu under fire over tribal appointments. So in the Ministry of Education, CS Machogu has been alleged to be looking into tribalism, and that most of the members that are given a post within the ministry are coming from Kisiland. That's according to legislations that were made prior and have been revealed into the public. So legislators accuse Education Ministry to top official dulling existing opportunities in tribesmen. Okay, so that has also been addressed on the page number 5 of the People Daily. So Education Cabinet Secretary Ezekiel Machogu yesterday faced the wrath of MPs over recent appointments in his ministry, which they claimed as tribal. The lawmakers who sit in the Public Investment Committee PIC on Governance and Education, chaired by Bumula MP Wamboka Wanabe, claimed that Machogu has only been appointing his men whenever appointees arise, and thus directed the Auditor General Nancy Gathungu to carry out a special audit of the establishment of the ministry, ladies and gentlemen. Now, the initiatives are on track. The CS Machogu is on the hot seat as from yesterday. The notice shows in respect to Kabianga University, the CS appointed Angela Obaga, Peter Gathirwa, and Tabitha Nyandi to the council members of the ministry. At the Southeastern Kenya University, Fancy Kemei and John Andari were appointed by council members, while Ben Mamanyi was appointed to the Kirinyaga University Council. Wamboka claimed they are aware that the CS appointed his cronies in the case of Kaimosi Friends University at the expense of qualified individuals. Now, appointing cases. How did it come to be, ladies and gentlemen? Said Wamboka, it is not a coincidence that the Ministry of Education is a KC and goes ahead to make half of the appointments from KC. A cabinet minister who is a KC only appointing cases is very wrong. There is a concern running through your ministry and other departments. So with his regard, we are directing to the Auditor General to carry out a special audit of ethic composition at the Ministry of Education. Now, Narok woman representative Rebecca Tonkei sought to know whether it is fair that in the Gazette notice 80% of the appointees are from one tribe. But defending himself, Machogu refuted claims that he had appointed his cronies and actually asked the committee to look at the entire appointments instead of focusing on Gazette notice. He said in his own words that I have not appointed 80% of my community members. In Kaimosi University, I have not appointed my cronies as is being alleged. So appointed VCAs. In the submission before the committee, Machogu also took the opportunity to clarify that in the last 1 year, they have appointed vice chancellors to 14 universities. So the universities include Alupe, Dedan Kimathi University of Technology, Machakos University, Technical University of Kenya, Tharaka University, Pwani University, Karatina University, Kisi University, Southeastern University, University of Eldoret. Others are Jaramogi University, Science and Technology, Kabianga University, Tomboya University, and Masai Mara University, ladies and gentlemen. He, however, raised concern that Public Service Commission, PSC, has been delaying concluding appointments of the Vice Chancellors and the Deputy Vice Chancellors. In the case of Kaimosi Francis University, Machogu said that the PSC completed the process of recruiting a substantive Vice Chancellor, but the appointment cannot be made because the matter is in court, and the court granted orders stopping the appointment pending hearing and determination of the application. So, other than the position of the Vice Chancellor, he said, there are two acting Deputy Vice Chancellors at the Kaimosi University, Professor Julius Kemboi in Academic Student Affairs and Research, and Professor Morris Musasia in Financial and Development, who recruits is still pending. Now, that has also been addressed. But in general, ladies and gentlemen, we as Kenyans, we're starting just to look at the top most positions in different departments in ministries within the country. As I'm coming to the end of the newspaper review today, I want you to also try imagining that why is it that if a tribe run person, if your Kisi gets a position in the ministry, the top position, that is, if a law in a Kamba is a Gikuyu or any tribe within the country gets into those positions, most often it's found that members of the associate are given the first priority to domicile at those offices. I'm trying just to imagine this, and if something has to be done about it, I think if the country is to be streamlined, then let us check into the same accordingly. Now, all these are pending cases, as I can mention that on the Vibrant Show morning within the BTV Kenya, your home live TV. And that marks the end of the Vibrant Show this morning. I'm calling upon to you for tomorrow, when we shall have a lot that shall have been shown or appended on various newspapers within the country and abroad, ladies and gentlemen, because this is an international TV, global TV, And even if it is narrowed into Kenya as one of the country within the East African countries, no complaints. Come along, come all to tomorrow Vibrant Show. Call me Ocheng Geoffrey Onyango. Love you. Have a beautiful morning. Goodbye.